There's a story we have on City Newsroom. I'm going to read the story that we have on City Newsroom.
Yeah.
And we'll just set the grounds for the conversation. Now, City Newsroom, there's an article here that says that over $1 million raised for photographer Paul Ninson to build library learning center in Ghana. Wow. Okay, so let's see what the details are. There's a nice picture of the photographer Paul sitting in front of a lot of books. All right, the story here says, a Ghanaian photographer, Paul Ninson, has caught the eye of the world after his inspiring story was shared by photo blog Humans of New York. Mr. Ninson struggled to make ends meet on the streets of Ghana after trying to take care of his daughter, whom he had with his girlfriend at the age of 20. He subsequently taught himself photography, but faced several stumbling blocks in his quest to have a breakthrough in life. After several rejections, he was subsequently offered a half scholarship to study at an international center of photography in New York. But his hopes were dashed because he was supposed to pay $20,000 as part of the tuition. Now, for the first, and this is I quote, for the first few minutes I was so excited, but then reality set in. Even with the scholarship, the remaining tuition was $20,000. It might as well have been $1 million, he lamented. Life smiled on Paul one day when he met Brandon Stanton, and the owner of Humans of New York at the University of Ghana, where he, Paul, had been hired to photograph an event.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
As destiny would have it.
This is called serendipity.
Of course, you know, and one lesson that I pick from this story is the fact that he had a goal. Yeah. You know, he was just trying to find means to achieve that goal. And always being prepared to take advantage of
whatever opportunity
whatever privilege he will be confronted with. And it came at the right time, you know, when he was just ready for it.
It's amazing. So the story continues and says, this marked the turning point in Paul's life as Stanton supported him to study at the International Center of Photography in New York. When I landed, and this is a story, when I landed in New York, I was full of joy. I spent the first few days exploring the city. I saw places that I'd only seen in photographs: Times Square, Central Park, the entire Empire State Building. During the orientation, I met other students from all over the world, and the story goes on. But we do have him online now.
Yeah, I think
and want to
we should hear it right from him. Yeah, you know, it's so awesome. Right, and so
Hi,
you're
Paul.
very welcome,
Good morning.
Paul.
Good morning, David. Good morning. How are you doing? Thank you so much for having me here.
You're welcome, and I'm here with Frema this morning. Yes, so Paul, just get us right back into it. Now, of course, we're reading the story on our webpage, City Newsroom, of how it all happened. Just give it to us in a nutshell, who you are and how you came to be this now global name that everybody knows and is talking about Paul Ninson.
So I'm Paul Ninson, born and raised in Kumasi. My mother is from Kumawu, my dad is from Takrade, Jumakon area. Okay. And so I've been a photographer for the past 4 years. Okay. And my journey has been interesting. I will not say that my path of becoming a photographer was a destined one, but I know that my childhood experience with my grandfather, who used to tell me stories about our culture and traditions, was something which embedded in me at a younger age. I think my path was, I know how to draw very well, so I wanted to be an architect, but it didn't work out. So, but still, I wanted to be a visual artist, and this is my path, and now I'm a photographer and a filmmaker.
Wow.
Right, Paul. So tell us what the focus was, you know, because just doing photography for 4 years and with all the achievements that you've chalked so far, when you were starting photography, what was the focus? What did you hope to achieve with that?
So I think that, you know, there's a sources of influence in terms of photography. You know, what is your source? What is your influence? And for me, my sources and my influence led me to the things I do. I love documentary. You know, when growing up, we didn't have television. My dad will always allow us to read a lot. I read so much. I read about 50 books, even as at now, 50 books a year. I try to read a lot. So I think those things embedded in me helped me to know. I did weddings, I did events. It wasn't something which was much fulfilling for me. So I wanted more. I wanted something to be part of something. I wanted to be part of something, to change something, to tell stories which were important to our society and important to people. So that led me my path to documentary, and yeah.
So I just want to ask something. That's to tie in how you stepped into photography. You know, there's a number of us in this space, and of course, when I spoke with you earlier, you mentioned that you already knew me as a photographer in this space. But what was it that you said? I mean, typically in Ghana, young people from the university don't go into photography as an option.
Yes, because I think that it's just the education around photography and what photography can be used for. I think that is the reason why I'm doing this. Because when I came to New York and I got exposed to this huge aspect of photography I never knew about.
Yeah.
You know, I'm grateful to have my mother. You know, I'm really grateful. She, no matter what it is, she didn't understand, but she supported me anyway. But the photography and the film industry and all that is huge. There's so much potential and there's so much things to do about it, you know. So as surprising as, and the funny part also is that it's a skill, and I believe that skill is the future.
Yeah.
You know, so if someone has this ability and a skill, and look at all these wonderful photographers and filmmakers in Ghana and around Africa surviving and doing important stories. So for me, it's like, how can I contribute to this? How can I work towards this? That I can bring my experience, I can bring my knowledge, I can bring my New York and my American experience back to Ghana and say, hey guys, there's more to this than that.
Yeah.
You know, parents and other people, and it's not even about the money making. It's also about self-expression.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily have to be that the person has to make money out of it.
Yeah.
I know what photography has done for me. I don't talk much. You know, I'm not really, so photography has allowed me to express myself in ways I never imagined I could.
Yeah.
Right. So there's been some things you want to achieve that led you into raising over $1 million. Now you have that money. So run us through some of the things you want to do, especially here in Ghana, and how far you've gone with that.
Yes, I've raised this morning I checked, I think 1.2. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. It's so humbling, you know, to I don't think about the money much because it's not mine. But it's very humbling, and I'm grateful for my best friend Brandon Stanton, who not in a way discovered me, helped me, and be able to do this for me. You know, I tell him that he gave me a gift to give, and a gift ability. It's so beautiful to have that gift and ability to help somebody. And for me, it's more than anything in the world to me. And this is going to be the start of something big. The vision is big. The things we think we're talking about is huge. You know, I'm having conversations here in US after the Humans of New York post. You know, people are asking questions, you know, and again, people don't even know where Africa is, you know, what Africa can be, what Africa we have, you know, so people are surprised, you know, so these are and the building is like, wow, you know, and these are some of the things that makes me very happy. It's not being famous and being all over the place.
Yeah. Now you have this idea for the Photography Learning Center, right? And you call it Decan. Tell us first of all what has inspired the name Decan, and then also I read a post by Sam George, and Sam George has offered you land, 2 acres of land of his own property in his constituency. Are you taking that up?
So thank you so much for the question. Decan is so it's like when I was growing up, my dad is very pragmatic person. He always asked us to solve problems. You know, in the house we had a farm. He's always constantly, you know, complaining in the house wasn't an option. Like he's like, either you solve it or you cannot solve it. But if you can solve it, how can you solve it? And for me, I just want the generation, my friends, my people to take the lead in solving basic little problems, that is apparent to us. So I think it's difficult. It's very difficult in some times, where we come from and everything. But I think that 2 or 3 people come together, solve one problem, then let's solve another problem, and we all can solve African problem in ways we never imagined. One of the things I really like about New York is there is resilience. People trying to find ways and means to solve problems, and that was the origin of the name. And I think it has stuck with me for a long time. Always my dad, and always thinking about how to solve problems. And it's like, so when I started this, I just went for it and said, you know what, we're going to call it Dikan, because I want everybody to take the lead. It's not about me.
Take the lead.
It's not at all about me. If it was about me, I would have taken a different path, because this is a non-profit. I don't make money out of it. Any money that is made is reinvested in the organization. So for me, it's like, it's not for me. It's not about me at all. I just want people to take the lead. I want all of us. It's about Ghana. It's about Africa. Let's tell the stories of Africa. Let's train the next generation. I'm thinking about big things. A lot of ideas. How can we get there? So for me, that is the reason why I chose Dikan. I'm grateful for St. George. It's been very crazy this couple of days. Can you imagine? I have an assistant who's it's kind of weird for me to deal with that, and I'm working so hard. My team is working so hard, contacting everyone who has offered us something, and my goal is to be in touch with them and see what is the best solution, what is the best things. I'm listening to people, I'm listening to everyone, I'm taking every offer into consideration and see what best we can do. And again, I tell people, yes, people are talking about where would it be located. I don't know yet. I won't tell you. I'll be a liar if I tell you that I'm an expert in all this. I'm learning. I'm learning as time goes on. That's why I'm building a team of smart people around me, and we will consider everything. Yes, I come from Buakwa. What about my people in Buakwa? What about my people in Kumawu? How can they benefit from this? This is what I'm thinking about. How can we scale it around Ghana? How can we scale it around Africa? Not being... To be honest with you, even some countries, I got offers from 2 countries,
wow.
willing to, and I was surprised, like, how do you want me to skip my country for your country? But I believe in Africa. I believe in that there are more people in Africa who need this, and that is what I want the kid at Osu, the kid at Sankugwa, to be able to walk into it and feel that this is a home where I can learn something. I can watch documentaries, I can watch videos and all that. So that's my goal.
Right, so just quickly before you take leave of us, you shared with us some of your challenges starting your photography in Ghana. Now, you have been privileged to move on to New York to be able to do all the things you are doing right now. Let's look at Ghana and photography. What are we missing out? Moving on to the United States, what do you think that we can be doing with photography, especially in nation building, in our tourism sector, in everything? What can we do with photography?
Thank you so much for the question. I think that's the reason why I'm setting up Dikan as an organization for everyone. My goal, if I was very rich, I would make this thing extremely available and accessible to everyone. My daughter, who I love so much, this vacation, she's just home for 1 month. What's she doing after school? What's she doing? If this can be a complement to education system where kids can learn photography, I can design a program and other things where kids and older people, even 60 years old, they can come in and learn something, So for me, that is, when Humans of New York share this, a lot of people, right now I have so many emails, so many inboxes of people wanting to come to Ghana. When it's ready, I'll come to Ghana. When it's ready, I'll come to Ghana. And that is the goal. And now everybody knows about Ghana. Most people now know a lot about Ghana, and it's joy when I'm in New York and someone say, hey, where do you come from? And I was like, I'm from Ghana. It's like, there's this joy. Oh, Ghana, they want to visit. These are some of the things that we cannot talk about education. We cannot talk about tourism. We cannot talk about development without talking about how we can scale this and be able to help other people use these skills and talent to be able to. A lot of my friends have not gone to school for photography. I think I'm one of the few among my friends who have been able to go to photography school, but the things they are doing are amazing. How can we market it? How can we channel the distribution to make it Africa-centered, consuming of photography and filmmaking, and also activism, advocacy. You know, if you're talking about the things happening around Ghana and Africa, how can we use visuals to change the perspective of things, and how can we promote Ghana and Africa in a way? I love Ghana. I love my country. I love it. Mini baby Ako. This is my country, you know, and I'm coming home, you know, and to build it with all of us. Let's roll our sleeves and be able to work this thing out and make Ghana better and Africa a greater continent.
Yeah, I love it. Just a quick one here. There's a couple of messages that have come through before I ask my last question. So this is coming from Ifwa in Amasama, and she says, "Well done, Paul. We should all learn to think about using our talents and connections to help our country in our own small way." Richard in Kumasi is asking, "Paul, how can the rest of us help out? I'm an amateur photographer and I'm inspired to help the industry grow." So would you want to answer Richard's question quickly?
Yes, I mean, all my friends knows me how open I am. You know, this does not change who I am in any way. I'm very open. I'll respond to every email. I will include everybody. If you want to volunteer, if you want to contribute, you have something, you know, you are an expert in this. Let's all come together and do this for the country, because it's a non-profit. It doesn't. I cannot will it to my mother or my kids. It stays in the country. It's just for everyone. So if you want to help, reach out to me in any way. Facebook, Instagram. My website is decancenter.com. My personal website is paulninson.com, and I will respond, and we all figure it out. I'm learning as we go forward, and we can be able to do this in a bigger way where everybody can enjoy and benefit from it.
All right, so quick one. I saw you had a picture with about 30,000 books. You're collecting more books, or has that stopped?
No, not at all. I'm even beginning, you know.
I see.
Yeah, I'm even beginning. I'm buying books constantly. You know, during the pandemic, I was buying books left and right from collection, because during the pandemic, some of the galleries in New York closed. So I think 2 of them, I went there, bought the whole collection, about 10,000 books, packed them during the pandemic by myself and a couple of friends of mine. And I want to have every African-related book in the library. That is my target. So if anyone has African books archives which they want to donate to this library, I'm open to, and I'm still buying. I'm still collecting.
Right, fantastic, Paul. Paul, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I can just tell you for free that, look, more than 70% of the people who are practicing photography in Ghana today did not have formal training. I mean, as somebody who has been in this space for over 13 years, I can tell you that majority of us. So yes, you know, it's a blessing when you have the opportunity for your passion to be tied into an education and connect all together. And of course, God has also blessed you to have access to all this funding to be able to do something. You know, it's amazing, because what's happened is that you're using photography to do something that people would never have imagined that it was possible, you know. And so 0550, guys who are watching us from everywhere, 0550-585-832 is the WhatsApp line to communicate with us on the show. Those of you who are outside Ghana, kindly prefix that number with +233. Paul, I want to say a big thank you again for speaking with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think that I'm grateful to be here, and one of the things I will sign off with is not in a sad note, but I really wish my brother Bobby was around to see this.
Yeah, he would have really been excited about this particular thing, because
but it would be to his honor, you know.
Yeah. Maybe you can do a little something nicely in one of the buildings for him as well. I don't know.
Actually, I'm working on that. You know, I'm open to reserve his legacy.
Fantastic.
I'm open to working with his family to best and ways to reserve his legacy.
We'll talk off air. All right, so I'll put you in touch with the right people. All right.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, take care. Have a good day.